Oftentimes, when something goes wrong, we want to quickly find out whose fault it is. We want to quickly lay the blame at somebody's feet, either to self or to others. We want to just assign the fault immediately. Have you ever found yourself doing that? As humans, that is generally the conditioning to find fault quickly, as quickly as possible, as if fault finding or blaming is a solution. So you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Mary. I'm happy you're able to join us in today's episode. And for my regular viewers, I thank you for tuning in again to my channel. We are still on the 5 obstacles to living fully. And today we're dealing with blame. Blame is essentially fault finding. Your fault, it's my fault that thing went wrong. You blame yourself for everything, or you blame someone else for everything without separating a problem from the person. There's a problem and there's a person. The problem and the person are not the same entity. Once you're able to identify what the problem is and the reason why that problem was able to come to light, the most important thing is to solve the problem and to prevent a recurrence in the future. We rarely do this. What we're just looking for is to blame someone and leave it at that. That constitutes a great obstacle to moving forward and to living fully in this world. A lot of people are quick to blame self for not saying enough, and that's why this bad thing happened. I didn't do enough. I should have given more than I've given. You blame yourself. Self-blame particularly is worse because you are not able to see yourself as being able to do right, that you're always the fault, you're always the problem. So anything you do, is good or bad, is a problem. You blame yourself. If I were not this fat, perhaps my partner would not have cheated on me. What has that got to do with someone who wants to cheat? A partner who wants to cheat will cheat despite you're the slimmest model on earth. That partner will cheat. So taking the blame for your partner's cheating is putting an obstacle in your own path and not seeing clearly what the situation is and making yourself wrong. You start to feel guilty and shameful. All these emotions are very closely related. One brings the other and the other in thinking and in behavior. So it's essential that you're able to separate a problem from your person. Don't take the problem and the person and assign them as the same thing. There's a problem and there's a person. The most important part of overcoming the blame mindset is to have a clarity of mind, to be able to identify that there is a problem and you can name that problem. You can name the problem and then understand that the problem isn't you. The problem is the problem and you are the person. If you made a mistake, like we said in the other video, the important thing is to learn from that mistake and to understand why that mistake was made and to prevent yourself from making it. But when we make ourselves a problem, we're unable to see clearly the problem because we're seeing ourselves as, I'm wrong, it's my fault. If I had kept quiet, perhaps that other person would not have gotten angry. So there was a lash out, there was anger displayed in the other person, and you blamed yourself for the anger of the other person. How can you take responsibility for how someone else acts or how someone else is able to manage their emotions? You're putting too much burden on yourself if you think that way. You're not to blame for their anger. You're not to blame for their out of control emotions. No, you aren't. You're responsible for yourself. You're not responsible for another, especially an adult human being. For children, we are as parents and elder ones who are supposed to model and guide and provide direction so that they can mature and be able to manage their own emotions. That's the responsibility we have towards children. But for an adult being, It's expected that they have learned along their journey how to manage themselves, how to manage emotions, and how to live life. So if you blame yourself that if you had not said a certain thing, or if you have said certain thing, they wouldn't have been angry. You know, making yourself wrong. You're not being kind to yourself by blaming yourself for something that had nothing to do with you. So the important thing is to recognize what is the problem. This person is angry about something. So the person is angry, and that's why they're lashing out. She's angry about something. What is the something? Ask the question what, why, where, how will help in separating the problem from yourself. What happened? How did that happen? Why did it happen? If you're able to do this, you remove the obstacle of blame from your life. A lot of children blame themselves if their parents get a divorce or become separated. They feel because I came along, that's why they're having problems. How can that be? How can a child blame him or herself for the parents' actions? It's unjustified. The child is not to blame for the parents' separation. In the event that you broke your phone fell from your hands. Oh. And start to heap all sorts of negative words on yourself. Rather, what you should be thinking about, I'm not in a good frame of mind, and why? My emotions are all over the place. I'm not able to calm down. It's because I'm not calm. And if you can look at methods and strategies that will help you to stay calm, to become calmer, that will be a better way of looking at the problem, rather than saying, I'm always breaking stuff, I cannot do anything right. Kindness to self is not immediately assuming self is wrong, that you're wrong. No. Self is beautiful. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. So you must acknowledge who you are, rather than making yourself wrong in all situations. That is a wrong mindset to operate from if you want to create the best version of yourself. Don't blame yourself. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't be accountable to yourself. What are your roles? And are you playing your roles? Accountability and responsibility is very essential for someone who wants to remove the obstacle of blame. Okay, so once you identify whose role is it to do certain thing and it was not done, mistakes happen. If it involves casualty, of course, in life and anywhere where a grievous mistake has been done, there are consequences. There are consequences to the individuals who are involved in causing accidents to happen to others and to properties and stuff. That's why those kind of responsibility are not given to children. They are given to people who are experienced and who the company or the family believe are able to manage situations. So they believe they have the capacity or the competence to manage, and so they will give responsibility to adults, not children, not immature humans. So the solution to blaming essentially is holding yourself accountable and holding others accountable. This is what I'm supposed to do, and I commit to doing it, so that you don't come to blaming yourself. And this is what the other person is supposed to do. This is their role. I'm not responsible for their role. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I commit myself to doing that. Stay committed to you. Stay focused on what you need to do to move yourself forward, to move your relationship forward, to make your job progress, to make your business progress. That's one way to overcome blame. Instead of spending so much energy to saying, it's my fault, it's your fault, it's her fault, it's their fault. Recognize the problem, recognize who's responsible for what is to be done. So you must take responsibility to hold people accountable, hold yourself accountable. You can do this. We give less room for blaming. And so we will remove the obstacle of blame in our lives and be able to advance forward. I hope this video helps. I like to hear your experiences on blame. Do you blame yourself? Do you blame others? Are you a blamer? Drop them in the comment section down below this video, and let's interact further even after the video has stopped. I enjoy reading your comments. And if you like the video, kindly keep the video a thumbs up, share with your friends. The essence of this channel, Creating with Mary, is to give us the tools and to provide resources that will help us to create the best version of ourselves, the higher version of ourselves that is possible, moment by moment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again at the next one.